What's up, guys? It's Nehemiah here. Welcome back to another episode of Accelerate to Great podcast. Listen to me. I hope you have been enjoying every episode we put out to date. We've had some incredible 6, 7, and 8-figure earners. Listen, this is unlike school, right? Listen to me. The thing about school is you go learn a specific subject, just say business, from someone who never owned the business. You go learn how to be a mechanic, let's say, from someone who isn't a mechanic. And the cool thing about Accelerate the Great, I make sure every guest who we bring before you, they're an expert in their field. They went through something. They're practitioners. They're very good at what they do, and today is no other. One of the things that is plaguing America is 1, student loan debt, 2, having bad credit. So today I wanted to bring on my good friend Tamara of the Credit Lifestyle to kind of share with you guys some gems, some game about credit, because I understand credit is power and I want to be able to help as many people as possible. And I wanted her to come because one of my students was bragging about her, like, yo, she the Credit Lifestyle, the truth. She took me out of bankruptcy and got my credit to an 823 credit score within a year. I'm like, hold on, I have to have her on the call. Not only did we get her on the call, we also did a consultation where her and I just got on the phone, and she immediately saw different things on my credit report that said, Neil, all we need to do is this, and we're gonna get you to that 800 club. So without further ado, I wanna bring in my friend, my credit mentor, and just an amazing person, T, to Accelerate the Great. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh man, thank you so much for being here. So I know time is super valuable. Tell us a little bit about how you got started, right?
Sure. Yeah. So in a nutshell, I basically started working on my credit December 2015. And the reason why I started working on it is because I had a very hard time moving into a neighborhood that was really nice. I noticed that the nicer the neighborhood was, the more credit was a factor. Gotcha. So I started working on my credit, and I developed like an obsession with it. I developed an obsession with helping others, and I turned into a business. Wow. But what made me stand out and made me be able to grow so much from it is that when I first started, I had a 550 credit score. Wow. I had one secured credit card. I turned it one $500 secured card, actually $200, into about $130,000 within 10 months. Wow. For a brand new Mercedes-Benz, and then up until today, I still have available credit of $300,000. So whoa. Our goal is to put our clients on the same path. Most clients leave our program with over 100K, and what we find is that prevents them from falling back in the same path. Wow. That along with education.
Wow. And that's key. That education is key.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people look at things like, is this really possible? And I'm talking about, we're going to say in the span of 3 years, you was able to do all of this?
Yes.
Wow. And you pretty much self-taught yourself. Yep. Probably got a little coaching and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of it was self-taught, but I also wanted to educate myself on the laws and everything to protect my client. Yep. So it wasn't just like YouTube videos or Googling. Gotcha. I really went and paid for training and had some of the best training one-on-one with the biggest mentors in the industry.
And I appreciate that, because when I was speaking to you, everything about her is, write this down, integrity. A lot of things, she's like, hey, it's certain guidelines that we must follow with this, and it's not like, we don't just want your money. I want to make sure you're able to buy your house, buy your home. Absolutely. I don't want a quick fix, but I want it fixed for real.
Long term.
So I really appreciate that you said that, and that just really made me like, hey, I love how she's operating. I think that's important. So a lot of things that I notice about people, a lot of people, we was talking earlier, people just kind of afraid to like, what is my credit score? They're afraid to pull back the curtains on credit for whatever reason it may be. It could be frightening, it just be the fear of the unknown. So let's talk about what are factors of credit, because a lot of people are like, absolutely, I don't know my credit, but I'm messing it up. But what are the factors that really say what credit is?
Absolutely. So it's broken down in 5 sections. The first section accounts for 35% of your score, and that is your payment history, late payments, collections, any type of negative marks that may be on your credit report. 30% is based upon how you utilize your credit limits. So the more that you use towards your credit limit, the more riskier you are. Okay, so you always want to make sure that your balances are under 30%. And then it's 15% is based upon the length of credit history, how long your oldest account. A lot of people don't know that affects it greatly. And then 10% is based upon inquiries. And then the other 10% is based upon mix of credit. Okay. Right.
And when you say mix of credit, just elaborate.
Yeah, so mix of credit means like when you have like a mortgage, when you have credit cards, auto loan, when you have different types of credit, it looks that you have different type of experience with credit, so you're more trustworthy in the credit industry.
Gotcha. That's good, and I appreciate that. And that's ultimately my goal. So a lot of things that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help a lot of adults start businesses. But a lot of them like, man, my credit's bad. I'm afraid. I don't know what to do. So what I want to talk about today quickly is since a lot of us adults, a lot of times we get stuck in our own ways. How can we help them prevent or show their kids how important credit is, and what can they do right now to start helping to build their kid credit so when they do turn 18, when they do turn 19, they'll be prepared? Because you did mention earlier just how when you work jobs years and years, like 10, 15 years ago, and you notice kids with black cards, kids with credit cards, and they were 18, 13, 14, 15. So how do we set our kids up to win, prevent them from losing?
So we call it the piggyback method. That's when you take a credit card and you add your child on as an authorized user. When you add your child on as an authorized user, it actually reports to your child's credit report as if it's their own credit card. So they're actually starting off at 18 with like a 750, 780 credit score.
Wow.
But you have to be very careful. You want to make sure that you're adding them onto an account that is in good standing, no late payments or anything like that. Once you're able to do that, it gives them a head start. So now when they're applying for credit, they're not denied for lack of credit, and that's also another reason. No credit, lack of credit can also get you denied. So they have a fresh start. They're starting off with a 750, 780 credit score. So now when they apply for credit, they're able to build. We get a lot of young adults that say, hey, I want to build credit, but no one will approve me. That's one way to kind of get around that.
Wow. Okay. So step one is there a specific age parents should start doing this at?
Not necessarily. So here's the thing. There's a thing called backdating. Okay. So you don't have to do it when they are 12, 13, and 14 years old, because depending on the credit card company, they will go back from the time that you actually opened the account. And then let's just say you opened it, it's been open for 10 years. When you add it onto your child's credit report, it will show that it was been on there for 10 years, regardless of the date that you did it. Everybody except for American Express. So, but what I did a little bit different is that I added my son onto my American Express Platinum card. I actually gave him the card. He has a specific amount that he can use. I'm teaching him due dates and cutoff dates and stuff now because because when we turned 18, we all were just like crazy, like went crazy on the credit card. So if you kind of like expose it to them now, it's not nothing different. It's like I had credit since I was 14, you know.
That's important.
So he has his own credit card. He manages his own purchases, and
I think that's important. So just so we can recap, so guys, if your credit isn't at great standing, go get them one card. Is it one card? Should they do the piggyback?
It can be multiple cards.
It can be multiple cards.
Yeah.
So let's just say one card to start with your most seasoned card with good
oldest card with the best credit history.
With the best credit history, go make them authorized user, and then you can give them the card or just put the card in a drawer, but. Just educate them on credit. Educate them why it's important. Educate them while they're young. So when they're 18, like you said, I've been had credit for 5 years. I know how to operate it. I know what to do with it. I know why it's important.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy that you mentioned that. So what can we do now? So a lot of adults have ruined their credit. Like, it's messed up, T. I don't know what to do. What's the start to preparing?
You want to just review all three credit bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax.
Where you do that
and so that brings me to something very important. I find people are going to the wrong places looking at their credit scores. They stick with
people talk about credit
karma, credit sesame.
Accurate.
Absolutely. So what Credit Karma gives you, one is only two bureaus. So you only have access to the two credit bureaus. It also leaves out a lot of important information, and it also gives you your Vantage score. So it will have someone thinking that their score is over 700, where in all actuality it may be in the 600 or 500s. We see this all the time. So you want to have access to the scores and the reports that the actual creditors are looking at. How would you know where you stand if you're looking at something different that they're looking at? That's number one. Unfortunately, you'd have to invest most of these sites you have to pay for. But
like what, $5-10 a month?
Some of them between $20 to $30 a month.
But
it's an investment.
It's worth it to make sure you protect it, right?
Exactly. You want to have all the right information. What we see people do is they're prematurely applying for things based upon the wrong information. So that's going to eliminate a lot of denial. So knowing where you stand is number one. Okay, reviewing your credit reports, making sure that all the information that's reported is correct. We see a lot of fraudulent information as well. So you may be denied for something that had nothing to do with you. So monitoring, reviewing is always number one.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then you just want to assess what's affecting you. Most don't know what's hurting them, but if you actually go to these sites, they're all of them have links to say what's hurting your score, okay? Or if you've ever been denied for something, there's a letter that they send you and they tell you exactly why they denied you. So if they say you have high usage or a bankruptcy and you only take the usage down, but you didn't apply with the bankruptcy, you're still applying for the same reason why they just told you that they denied you. Fix whatever's hurting you and then apply.
That's important. So
Yes.
before you just go willy-nilly, fix it first.
Exactly.
And it's funny because when we were looking at my report, you said, hey, you got one lateness on there. Before you go apply for this, fix this.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy that you said that instead of me just keep going and not being approved.
Yes.
And now I know, oh, I need to do this, and I'll be able to prevent this as well as improve this.
It can be a difference between a $200 limit and a $20,000 limit.
Wow.
I mean, a big difference.
Now tell me about, we were speaking previously just about interest rates. Like, let's talk about like, I think this is important because just say some people are going to go pay 20% on an interest rate on a car when they could potentially be paying, I don't know, 8
Yes.
because of that bad credit. So
Absolutely.
they're doing more harm to themselves than actually good.
So we actually post a lot on our page and we show the difference.
Instagram, the credit lifestyle.
Thecreditlifestyle.com.
Gotcha.
I mean, the credit lifestyle, yes.
Gotcha.
So most of the clients that come in that have not so great credit, when we look at the auto loans and we multiply it by the months that they chose, they're typically paying about double the amount of the car. So the car was priced at $20,000 with the interest, they're paying about $40,000.
Wow.
When the client leaves the program, the first thing we do is focus on how can we save you money. So then we go looking into refinancing. Most people that refinance with a score over 750 end up paying less than $1,000 for the entire time frame of the auto loan.
Wow.
So it can be a significant difference, and that's money that you can be investing in something else better than,
Wow, that's important. And you talked about this, another way just to get started. You mentioned self-lender. Could you elaborate on that for somebody who potentially help?
I don't know if you're aware of secured credit cards, right?
Yes.
So secured credit cards.
Explain what that is, just in case someone.
Absolutely. So that's a way to show your patterns and your credibility without a company actually giving it to you. So sometimes companies are very leery, whether you have limited credit or bad credit.
Yeah.
So we'll say, hey, listen, you put your own money up and you show us what you can do, then we may give you more credit.
Gotcha.
But some people get it and they mess up right away.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so when you get the secured card, they're basically testing you, and they want to see how you perform on that card for the next few months. The more that you're able to keep the balances low and not pay any late payments, the better chances of you getting a higher credit card limit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your chance to prove. Same thing with loans. So it's very hard to get a loan unless you already were approved for a loan. So if you're having a hard time getting a loan, you want to start off with like a loan called self-lender. It's pretty much like a secured loan. You pay $25 to $48 per month. It goes into a CD account. And whatever time frame you pick, whether it's 12 months or 24 months, you get that money back plus interest. But you have 12 months or 24 months of history reporting on the credit bureau. So it looks like someone loaned you money, but it's actually your own money.
Wow. That's another
the
hack.
best thing ever.
Wow, that's dope.
It does
who
wonders.
thought about that, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that's incredible. And any other, before we begin to wrap up, any other credit hacks or tips you want to share with people that could either help them grow their credit or just prevent them from messing it up?
So now that we're about to enter tax time,
Gotcha.
we want to prevent a lot of mistakes that we see, and we want you guys to use the money for things that is very important and actually can help. Okay, so we can't legally tell you not to pay a collection, but we can tell you what happens when you pay a collection account. Whenever you go and pay a collection account, the balance then reduced to zero, but the history is still reporting. Keep in mind that when the account is closed, the balance is no longer a factor because utilization is not involved anymore. It's not an open account. So the history, the fact that it became a collection, the fact that it became a repossession or a charge off is what's hurting you. You're not fixing that. You're only taking the balance to zero. Okay. So when you are looking to improve your credit, you can spend $15,000, $20,000 paying these accounts off. It does not improve your score. You want to focus on removing the history.
Wow.
Okay. Think of it as having a felony. Okay, so if you came home, what they tell us is that when you go to jail, you serve your time, you paid your debts to society. When you come home, you shouldn't be judged, but that's not what happens.
Absolutely.
When you come home and you apply for something, they're going to look at that. They're going to say, well, you did this and you did that, and they're still going to use it against you. So you're either one, be denied from a job or a certain neighborhood. It's the same thing with credit repair. As long as they can see it, they can use it against you.
Wow.
So we work on clearing.
Clearing.
Yes.
So you almost like, I'm not saying don't pay it.
I can't tell you that legally, but I can advise you of what happens.
But you're saying get it fixed before. So a lot of people make the mistake of going to go pay it off like it's going to disappear.
Absolutely.
And it don't even disappear.
It doesn't. It doesn't do anything because they can still see it.
Major gem right there.
Absolutely.
Wow. And guys, this is why I really want us to learn these things, because I truly believe a lot of us adults, I messed my credit up before. I think you said you messed your credit up before. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it could have been prevented if I had someone like you, like Nehemiah, you need to do this. Nehemiah, you need to do this. Nehemiah, you need to avoid this. Nehemiah, this is what you should do. Nehemiah, you need to be an authorized user. But we're never educated on these things. Yeah. So the cycle continues to, I don't know if the cycle will ever end. And I hope it will, starting now.
But it starts in the home, because it will never be taught in school.
Yeah. But how would a home learn? Because the home don't
Absolutely. Well, the parents have to, be able to educate themselves so that way they can pass it down. Unfortunately, it's not as open, but we teach on our page. We give out free information all the time.
And tell people now pretty much how they can find you, social media, website.
So on Instagram and Facebook, we're on YouTube as well as The Credit Lifestyle. You want to make sure you put the first.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Got you on website?
www.thecreditlifestyle.com.
And is there any way that people can, if you're like, hey, T, I want you to fix my credit, or I want you to give me a consultation, can you share with people how they can do that if you offer that service?
Yeah, so any of the links that you go to, there is a 1-minute application. You just get some information about you, and want to make sure that the programs that we have are a good fit. We do offer several programs. Some are actually free, so we want to make sure that we can assist you to the best of our ability. So filling out that will allow one of our staff members to reach out within 24 hours.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, listen, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed the program. I'm going to talk to T about some sort of creating something specifically, exclusively for you down in the show notes, where we can just add some more value to you with credit, and just really seeing that we want you in your dream house. We want you in your dream car, right? We want you to excel, but it starts today. Start educating yourself on what you need to learn. Start telling yourself the different start learning the different terms and the different things that matter, so you protect yourself and you protect your credit, because your credit is it's probably one of the most important things ever. And if you protect it and monitor it, who knows how far you can go with having great credit. So absolutely. I want to thank everyone today for tuning in to another episode of Accelerate the Great Podcast. Please follow The Credit Lifestyle on Instagram. Please share this episode. Please subscribe. Please rate it. Please review it. We want to share this information that is not being taught, and this is totally free. We want you to be able to get to that next level and utilize this information to help you accelerate the great. So thank you so much for tuning in to Accelerate the Great, and we appreciate you today. See ya.
See ya.